And we are live. Oh, it's set.
Namaste,
See, okay.
namaste, everybody. What happens when you bring a group of girls together? It gets loud, it gets noisy. There are some serious conversations, and there's a lot of laughing. My name is Pooja, and I'm a Mohanji Acharya. Today, I'm so proud and so grateful to be part of panel of women whom I consider my sisters. We all are in our 30s. We are deeply connected to Mohanji and have dedicated our lives to give back more to Mother Earth than we receive from her. Even though we are connected and united with our similarities, we all come from very different backgrounds. We have among ourselves three different religions. Few who are born and raised in a Muslim household, a few whose parents follow Buddhism, and others who are born and raised in a Hindu family. We also have among ourselves few who are married, few who have children, and others who are single. I invite all of you into our little world where we discuss our struggles, our confusions, our similarities, and our differences in connection to spirituality. We hope our transformation stories inspire you and motivate you to continue on the path towards liberation. I am now going to take this opportunity to introduce my sisters. So I have with me today on this panel Lisa from UK.
Jai Mohanji. Thank you, Pooja.
We have Samira from South Africa.
Jai Mohanji. Thank you, Pooja.
We have Nimika from Finland.
Namaste, Jai Mohanji.
We have Pia from USA.
Namaste, Jai Mohanji.
And we have Maheshwari from South Africa.
Jai Mohanji. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Pooja.
Okay, so ladies, how's everybody now? we had to. We've been having technical difficulties a little bit. So let's get started with the questions. How did you all get connected to Mohanji? Nimi, do you want to start with this question?
Yeah, definitely. I think I'm blessed to complete exactly 1 year when I met Mohanji last year on the same day. And my journey started with Sai Baba, and I was so deeply connected to Baba in my time of struggle. And I was always trying to listen to his videos. And in one of those times when the YouTube suggested me one of the videos of Mohanji where he was talking about Sai Baba. And that's how I felt the connection. I felt I need to know more about him. And I started following him on YouTube. I felt his talks were so much important, and so it answered so many of my doubts and questions. And at one point of time, I felt I need to go and meet him in person. And that's when I was looking for opportunities, and there was an option to go for a Kriya initiation. And I was really not aware what Kriya is, what Kriya initiation is. I just wanted to meet him. So I found this option and I applied. And with the grace, I got accepted for that program. And there I was, exactly 1 year before I met him. And life has not been the same after that. I was totally a transformed person. All the frustrations, anger, or whatever negative emotions that you might say were full with me a year ago. But after meeting him, I feel that I'm completely new person. So much of acceptance, awareness, and I really love this whole 1 year of journey. That's all I would say for my side.
Okay, thank you, Nimi. Samira, do you want to continue? We can't hear you, Samira.
Okay. So my connection with father was very much, I didn't expect it. I didn't know that I actually was going to, that my entire life would change so drastically after I met my guru. But I was working a normal 9 to 5 job, and I met my guru. I met Mohanji through my ex. So everything was very much, um, destiny calls, and you cannot run away from destiny, from karma. So everything, the biggest influences and biggest things in my life actually happened that day that I met my ex. And so again, I was working, and I really wanted to leave work. I mean, I was grateful for my job, but I really wanted to leave. I applied for so many interviews. I think I applied for 14 interviews in
Oh my God.
That's more than one a month. And I couldn't understand why I couldn't get the job. I was overqualified. I even brought myself down to apply for jobs that would make it easier for me to get the job, but I couldn't. So Destiny had other plans for me. It's telling you, Smira, you are staying here until this happens. So I met, so gladly my ex introduced me to Mohanji, not physically, but, through certain communication methods, and we've been communicating, and he told me about Mohanji, and I just went with the flow. I didn't know really much what was about to come, who I was about to meet. So, and at that time, I really knew nothing about spirituality. So the first thing that came was, why don't you apply for Kriya? So I mean, I've been working. I'm just a normal person, and the first thing is, you should apply for Kriya, and I'm like, okay, again, I'm not thinking about anything. So this just happened. And I filled in the application form for Kriya. I didn't know what it was to really feel bliss, or from a spiritual sense. All I knew was that dancing gave me that eternal bliss. It gave me that feeling of true presence, and really, for now we can call that a no mind state. So for me, I said I felt this feeling during my dance. So in my Kriya application, I applied for Kriya through, dance, by mentioning I feel this, during dance, and that was my Kriya application. But I think my soul sort of knew what that feeling was, so it came out in my Kriya application somehow or another, however it came across to the visual to the facilitators. So I got accepted, Jai Mohanji, for Kriya. Not knowing anything again, I'm sort of just going with the flow. Driving to the places, just talking to people, and just going with the flow. And so we were at a lady's home. She offered us the space for Father, and to have the Kriya initiation with Father. And it was such a special occasion. So Father was upstairs. Like I said, I didn't know who Mohanji was. I didn't know what was I doing there. Only Mohanji knew. My soul is like, okay, you are here. You sit down, and this is, who knows what's happening. I'm sitting amongst people, and I don't know what's going to come. And but I'm calm. I'm sort of okay. I don't know, it's something only your soul knows, only your soul knows. And I'm fine, and I think I'm just trusting with the experience. So and these devotees, we were very close. However, I never knew them in this life, but I was really comfortable around everyone that was there. I really felt a connection to all of them, now that I think about it. So we created a nice walkway for Father to go through to his to walk to his chair, and all of us are sitting down. And I know no chanting. I used to chant before, but I didn't know Father's Gayatri mantra. So all the room is fully closed. It's nice and intimate. It's nice and conducive for Kriya initiation. The windows behind us are closed. Everything is nice and calm. I have no idea what's happening, like what's going to happen. So I'm sitting down, and everyone's getting ready. So we get ready, we sit down, we get ready to start chanting Mohanji's Gayatri mantra. So I go along again. My soul is like, okay, you just go along, you just do your chanting. And I'm chanting. I think after the third time, I am chanting Father's Gayatri mantra. I knew nothing, but I'm going with it and I'm feeling it and I'm, chanting. Our eyes are closed. All of our eyes are closed and we're waiting for Father to come downstairs. And Father, when Father came downstairs, none of my eyes didn't open at all. My eyes are closed and I just see this bright, bright white light
Wow.
walking um, on the walkway. And then, my mind for a second says, okay, but are the windows opening? Or like, who's opening windows now? Or who's drawing curtains? But nothing like that. So it happened, and I actually went with it. And when we opened our eyes, Father was sitting in his chair, waiting for us to finish. I didn't know. I started crying immensely. The tears started pouring down my face. And my ex was sitting opposite me. And I'm thinking, Sam, you're a strong person. Why are you crying like a little girl? What? But it came down so fast. And I realized something deeper. Something's happening to me. Something, I think in one of Father's blogs, when you see truth, it's an emotional experience.
Yeah.
When you finally see truth, when you realize truth, when your soul sees the ultimate, it's like I found home.
Yes.
So
Definitely.
it was lifetimes and lifetimes and lifetimes of waiting for Father, and that the emotional pour out that just came.
Yes.
Was that it came. Father is here. After how long have I been waiting for this? But again, my mind, and I knew subtly something big was going to happen, and I just went along with it. I had my Kriya initiation that day, just to keep it short. And it was very special. I had no idea. I think my soul was even just taking over at the time. During Kriya initiation, it wasn't my normal self. So these words that were coming out, the thoughts that I was having that day, nothing could have been this physical body that I was speaking or experiencing. And then the rest is history, and that was in 2016, in the year of month of April 2016.
Yes.
So
Oh, thank you, Samira. That's really amazing.
Wow.
Mahesh, you want to continue at your end?
Oh, I'm just listening to Sam, and I'm actually feeling her story.
Yes.
And it's quite amazing because it's also her Kriya initiation day was also actually the day that I had met him. But the stories are completely different. The path and everything is completely different. And it's something like sharing how I met him it's not actually so straightforward, because there's so many times that he basically came into my life and I was completely doing my own thing, and so it's quite a long story, so I wouldn't share the whole story. But what I would say is my connection to Mohanji is actually my connection to Lord Shiva, and I'm so grateful that Mohanji, he is in a physical body and we can see him and we can attend his programs, and also be the fact that he has accepted us as Mohanji Acharyas. It's like Lord Shiva himself choosing us as Mohanji Acharyas, as his Acharyas, to basically go out and do the work. And also, we are not even doing the work because he does everything, through us. So just to basically speak on my connection to him, I've always been connected to Lord Shiva from a baby and from lifetimes before, and I've really I understand that he's this energy, and people say he's in Kailash, and I'm really grateful to Mohanji for giving me the opportunity to go to visit Kailash, but he's not just there, he's everywhere. And I really, really wished to, see him and and like have that sense of a physical person that you can look into his eyes, and you can basically serve him, even though Mohanji does not ask for any of that. But I would literally offer water to the Shivlinga, and I would internally I would just cry and close my eyes and wish and visualize his feet, and that I'm actually touching his feet, or the water is actually touching him directly. And I so deeply wished to see him, and I would normally I would just chant, because I love him. I love to repeat his name continuously. So I would just chant for like how Sam was saying, this, the feeling of bliss, the feeling of love. For me, that would be meditation and chanting. And before meeting Mohanji, before him actually physically coming into my life, I just had this immense desire to see Lord Shiva. Like, and then I started praying, and I'm like, I really want to see you. I really, can you please come in some way? And and as that prayers were getting intense, I would sort of somebody from Mohanji Foundation would say something regarding Mohanji, or would see a picture of him, or would see so the signs would always come back as Mohanji, and eventually there's a really amazing story behind how we met, but as I said, it's really long, so I'd probably leave that for another day. But eventually, through Lord Shiva's grace and also through his guidance, I ended up meeting Mohanji on the same day that of the Kriya initiation in 2016, and that's also the same day that I met Samira. So it's really amazing how everything is sort of linked in some way or another. And yeah. So for now, I'd leave it there, and we can continue with the story later on.
No, thank you, Maheshwari. It's really amazing. I think out of all of us, you're probably someone who's traveled the most with Mohanji, if I'm not wrong. You've been really blessed. You went to Kumbh as well, right?
Yes. Thank you so much, Pooja. Yeah, it's been amazing. I've really wish to just travel and spend as much time as possible, and I'm really grateful for the opportunities that he did give to me. Yeah. So actually last year it was Kumbh Mela, and after that was Bosnia, and then I actually met Lisa and Namika as well on on that Bosnian trip as well.
Okay, fantastic. Pia, do you want to continue your story?
Hi.
Hi.
Yes. Hi. Yes. Thank you, Pooja. Hi. Yeah. So I became connected to Mohanji initially through YouTube videos. I attended a retreat in Virginia that was conducted by Swami Bhaktananda, and during the whole retreat, he had like a large photo of Mohanji on the chair. And I grew up as a Buddhist, so I didn't really know what was going on. Why is there a photo of this man on the chair? What is going on? What is happening? But during the 2-day retreat, I just knew that I really liked the teachings that Swami was offering, and that was about 2 years ago. And in my late 20s, I first read Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. And I was very fascinated with that book. And I remember one part in the book where he writes about Mavdar Babaji. And if we just utter Babaji's name, that he can hear our prayers. And after reading that book, I had this deep desire of meeting a guru, and I was thinking, oh, how come in my life I don't have a guru? You know, I wish I had a guru to help lead me and find a way for me spiritually. And I just had that deep yearning, deep desire to have like a person in my life like Yogananda did. And that book just like blew me away. All the things about the chapter about the levitating saint and all the magical things that happened with Yogananda. I was just very, it resonated very much with me as I was searching for my spiritual search. And but it took a while for me to connect with the guru. Finally, I met Mohanji physically in Rishikesh at the end of 2017 during one of his retreats. And that's actually where I met Pooja too. That's where my first time meeting Pooja. And she actually took me for my first dip in the Ganga. So that was pretty amazing. So, and, you know, to be honest, it wasn't like a very, when I met Mohanji, it was very casual. I didn't know that he would be my guru. I didn't accept him to be a guru. I didn't know what is a guru actually, because I was not introduced to that idea growing up. And then slowly, gradually, it began to sink in that that yes, he's come to my life, and I accepted him as my guru, and it's been a life-changing, transformative experience since then. And sometimes I wonder why it took so long for my prayer to be answered, you know. But it was during my darkest hour, my darkest moment in my life that you know, I met Mohanji, and basically I was saved by him. So I feel very blessed to have a living master, and still going through realization, and still realizing and seeing how wonderful it is, or how precious it is to have a living master in my life, and all the deep transformations that happen just being around him. And so grateful to be connected to him, and to all the Mohanji family, and to all you ladies. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Pia. Actually, I do remember us meeting in Rishikesh. And
Yes.
now you mentioned, I remember because I was going to go take a dip, and I saw you came down. Yes. You said, "Pooja, I want to take a dip as well," and then you joined us. I remember that. Yes.
Yeah, I think you and Sanjay were Sanjay from Canada were also there, and then I saw you two walking along, and I was wondering, oh, what are they doing? I want to come along too. So, yeah.
All right, Lisa, do you want to continue the story?
All right, Jai Mohanji. Thank you, Pooja, for giving me this opportunity. My journey started long years back, almost 12 years back. So that time I went to a very dark period of time in my life, and I started searching God, but I was never satisfied with our methods, because in Muslim background, you always have to worship God without any pattern or any form. We do not have any form. So, but I really wanted to see my God. I wanted to talk to him, and I wanted to see him, touch him, feel him. And that's how I started my journey. And when and gradually it becomes so intense, but very consciously I choose this that I know this is very tough, but I was very sure inside my heart that one day I will reach, but I just didn't know how and when it will happen. And then that time I came across my first Sufi master, Jangir Baba, and he cleared my path. He molded me to so that I can receive such a blessings. At that time, I had no idea who is Mohanji. Is there any like Mohanji's existence in this world? But So that's how I gradually I move forward. And then 2018 in Bosnia, and before I met Mohanji, actually Sai Baba happened. Anyhow, I mean, I unconsciously I just started watching Sai Baba's serial, and unconsciously I started chanting Om Sai Nathai Namaha. And before I met Mohanji, Sai Baba came into my dream and gave me prasad, gave me blessings. And after that, actually, I saw one advert on Facebook. And the moment I saw Mohanji, I was like, my first question was, who is this man? And I, without a second thought, I just wanted to meet him. But that year I couldn't meet him. I had to wait again 9 months for him. And during this long period of time, I had to go through severe pain, threats, and ups and downs, so much of dramas, etc. But in 2018, finally in Bosnia, I met him, and I wanted to give him a Sai statue. And when I first saw him, I was almost about to faint. and then when I just wanted to give him a Sai statue, but I had no opportunity to tell him verbally that I want to meet you. And then, but he knows, and he asked me, "How are you?" And I said, "Yes, I'm fine." And I just before I tell him, he said that he told me that come I want to meet with you, and Barbara fixed one meeting, 10 minutes short meeting, and I gave Sai statue to him. And when he touched Sai Baba statue and he held my hand, I started crying. It's like such amazing kind of, I cannot express these feelings through words, but I inside my heart, somewhere very deep within, I know that I reached home, and that's it, final destination and end of my destination. It was really amazing. And after I met Mohanji, I actually understand that how blessed I am, even my pain, even my difficult moments, how blessed I am that I finally found my living God. I could see my living God in human form, and that's it. Thank you, Mohanji. Jai Mohanji.
Oh, thank you so much, Lisa. For my story, I would just say that I started with Sai Baba as well. I think some of us did started with Sai Baba. So I started with Sai Baba as well. And it's very interesting. Nobody in my extended family or my immediate family are a Sai Baba devotee or have a concept of guru in our lives. So it's really interesting that I got into it. That is a story in itself. So I won't get into detail of it, but it was just a prior to even getting to Sai Baba. I think internally I was looking for something, and I thought that if I found a good job, if I graduated from a good university, I will be satisfied, I will be happy. That didn't happen. I thought that if I surrounded myself with friends, I will be happy, and that I have found it, and that never happened. I thought if I would have a boyfriend, I would be happy, and that I would find what I was looking for. That didn't happen. So I was even career. I thought if I get a good job, I have a full-time job, I have benefits, I have a good pay, I will be happy. And even then, I did not. So there was something always missing. I was looking for it in everything external, and it just, I was never happy. And that's when I found it in my first meeting with Sai Baba in a temple is when I first found that peace or that contentment. And just talking about Mohanji, I remember once, to Sai Baba, I volunteered at a local Sai Mandir for a couple of years, and I was volunteering that one day, and very randomly, I don't know why, but I just, in my own like a bubbly and like laughing way, I just asked Baba. I was dancing. I possibly was dancing, and I asked Baba, why don't I have a living guru? Am I not eligible for a living guru? And I asked him that question, and I forgot. I didn't remember it. I said okay, and I started. Probably somebody called me to volunteer, and I must have forgotten what the question was. And that's when, it's a story in itself how Mohanji came in my life. But then that's how Mohanji came in my life. And I remember my first meeting with Mohanji. I've said this on in a lot of live videos. But my first meeting with Mohanji was in a party hall. He was wearing a white dhoti and a kurta with a Rudraksh mala. And he walks in and I see him, and I was the first one. I just ran to him. I touched his feet, and he put his entire palm on my hand like this. And as soon as he did that, I knew right away, this is it. This is my home. I have found it. I don't have to look anywhere. So that is my initial meeting with Mohanji. He had short hair as well. But I think out of all of you, I think I met Mohanji first. I think it was 2014 that I met Mohanji. So yeah. But I got more deeply connected in 2017. So I think that it is all, and I agree with what every one of you has said. It's a divine play. We are just like puppets. We are just moving. We get moved, and it's just our soul. Our soul is speaking so loudly, because we are just we are so entrapped in our materialistic lifestyles, in our external lifestyles, that the soul is crying. And I can feel it even a lot of times when I'm in front of Mohanji. I can feel the inside of me crying, telling me I need to be liberated. I can feel it inside of me. So and I've only felt that with Mohanji. I have never felt that with any other master in whose presence I've been blessed to be in. It was only Mohanji that I have felt this urge inside of me, screaming and calling out for liberation, to be out of this cycle of birth and death. So this is my story. So I think we took in half an hour on this answer. So I think we'll only be able to cover a few questions. We probably will have to do another episode, all of us together, to cover everything that we had decided. So I thought that we'll probably take one or two more questions. So my next question, I think, Lisa, if you can just explain what's the difference between being religious and being spiritual. I think that needs to be addressed, because a lot of times people confuse us for being religious, only because maybe they see me holding a mala and chanting, they think that I'm religious. So if you want to explain what the difference between being religious or being spiritual.
Okay. As per my knowledge, what I understood from Mohanji's teaching is, religious is a method. It's a process towards spirituality, and spirituality is the connection with the source. When you are fully connected with the source, and when you are really consciously, you know that you are consciously living your life, and you are connected to that source, your higher being. That is spiritualism. Finally, when you reached your home, I mean, home means like your authentic self, then that is spiritualism. And religious is the process, a method, a journey towards spiritualism. And that is the people have that concept. People think that method is the ultimate, but this is not the ultimate. Until and unless you can connect yourself to your higher self, that's just a process towards your higher self. So that is the wrong conception about people. In Muslim, I'm from Muslim background, so people think that praying namaz or praying Quran or go to Kaaba and this kind of things, this is dharma, this is religion, and that's it. That's the thing. But this is not the ultimate truth. Spiritualism is the ultimate truth, and religion is the process or method towards your higher self, towards the spiritualism.
I would like to add on this, Pooja. As she said that in most of like religions, they just know that they have to follow certain rituals and paths.
Yeah.
But I think many people are not aware exactly about this connection of the soul to the source. So this is something which is really not made of, like, at least I was not aware of something like this before I met him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So going on to the next question, because we have such variety among us, we have people who are married, like among us, the girls, some who are married, some who have children. So how do you balance dharma with spirituality?
Maybe I can take this.
Yeah, okay. Yes, because you have a child.
Yes, yes, I have a child. I have a 3-year-old child, and sometimes it really becomes challenge to manage everything. But I feel really blessed to have my life partner who is supporting me in all the ways he can to give me that space that I need for myself. And moreover, I think coming in this path has changed my lifestyle so much that what I right now do is that I spend most of the time, me time, that is the time when we do our own connection, our sadhana. I do it right early in the morning, like from 4 in the morning till 7 in the morning. It's my time, and I can do many things at that time. So in a way, during the day when the child is needs me, I'm available for him. And it's like try to balance things how it comes. Every day is a new challenge. Sometimes it happens that I'm not available, but as I said, I'm grateful to have a life partner who is really helping me with these things. So it's not so difficult, and I think even the family now understands the need and importance of being in the spiritual path. My 3-year-old is now so aware of that. Okay, mama is now doing some puja or meditation. So that's very interesting to see how things go.
I
Pia,
want to add something, like as Mohanji always says, that determination and discipline and determination. Like when you are really determined, you know what you want, then nothing can stop you. No child, no husband.
No, no child, no husband. Yes. Well, for some of
Nobody
us,
can stop you. You will be unstoppable.
well, thank you for saying that, Lisa. But Pia, do you want to? Because I know you have a child as well. Do you want to share your side of story as well?
Yes, my son is a little older than Nimika's. So my son's 9, so he's a little bit older. And in the beginning, it was a little bit difficult because I felt like I had to separate the spirituality from my family, but I think it kind of goes together. And I'm also fortunate to have a partner who helps out with my son when I'm doing my sadhana or spiritual practice. And actually, there are some challenges too, because sometimes they say things like, why are you spending so much time doing this and not doing other things? But over time, in the beginning, when I was first doing like the artis and doing the Acharya work and things like that, they saw that I was putting a lot of time and effort into it. But at first, yeah, they made some comments, but I think now that they understand that this is a part of who I am, and that I'm not going to quit. I mean, I'm in that way I'm stubborn, and a lot of times my stubbornness gets me into trouble. But this way, it's actually helping me. So yeah, I just come to accept.
But do you perhaps for Nimi and you both, this question goes: do you guys feel guilty if you don't spend time with your son? Is guilt a part of it?
Initially it was, but right now I think I have overcome that stage of my life where I was feeling guilty. Initially, definitely it was there.
Lisa, do you want to talk about a little bit about what you feel about dharma and spirituality?
Dharma is when you.
No, but a little bit about your how do you balance?
Yeah. Dharma is like, for me, my father, mother, my brother, my husband, or my family, immediate family. That's a responsibility, right? But you are playing that role which life is given to you, but that is the responsibility. You are playing that role, but when you are come out from that concept that this is the only thing I can do, and you can explore your possibilities, then you can do lots more. And that's how maybe people will not going to understand immediately that what you are doing. And that's how you sometimes face some kind of difficulties about dharma. And when you're a spiritual person, then when I learned this from Mohanji, that acceptance, like if somebody is not understand you, or somebody is trying to put on difficulties on your way, then you have to accept that situation, but you have to move forward. So for dharma and spiritualism are interconnected, and for me, life is the entire life is kind of dharma. Like if it is not selfish, it is that what you are doing, you are aware that what you are doing, then you are spiritual. And at the same time, you know that not only your immediate family, or you have lots more to do in your society, adding value
Agree.
I think,
Agree.
and
Yeah.
you have lots more to. You can even you cannot, if you can help someone in mental way, if someone going through a severe depression, or physical illness, this is also your dharma to go and talk to them and give them that strength, give them stay with them mentally and also physically. That is also dharma. And when you are spiritual, you really always available for anyone. You are not I cannot do it, this is small, this is big, but you are always available. That is your dharma. For me, this is I'm doing it all the time. This is Mohanji taught me that doesn't matter big or small, doesn't matter, but you just be available for anything or everything and everyone. That is your dharma. And when you are spiritual, you always play this role as a human.
No, very well said, Lisa. I totally agree with you. It does get sometimes challenging, but I think that if we are very clear as to what our goals are,
it's really challenging. But when you know that where you are standing and where you want to go, then because we all of us start walking that pathless path, right? So in this path, Mohanji warned us that you have to dare to walk alone on the way, because he knows very well that lots of difficulties will come in front of us. But that's why he empowered us with that confidence, with that insight that nothing matters. But if you can use your life, and your net worth is what you are giving to this world, mother world. Yeah. It doesn't matter.
No, I totally agree with you. So just I think touching a little bit about what all of you have said. I know that on this path, as Lisa said, there are challenges. So we do face criticism, we face judgments, we face direct opposition on being on this path. How perhaps only one of you can perhaps answer this question. Maybe Samira, if you want to tackle this question on how did you overcome like criticism or judgment on this path?
So criticism and judgment, sometimes we only get this from the people that we know, right? And less often from the people that we do not know. So a stranger is basically not going to criticize you. It's most often the people that are close to you, or that you have some sort of a relationship with, that will either judge you, criticize you, won't accept you, misunderstand you. And one of the experiences in my life, and I'm in a much better space now with Father's grace, and my growth as well. I have been faced with the situation. My immediate family. It was quite intense. I think I was put into a situation. I almost got, let's say, I almost got physically attacked. I was verbally attacked. I was verbally abused. And at one stage, I was really, really scared. And I had to just maybe, I had to ask Father to I had to visualize a bubble around me. Basically, at that situation that I was in, um, I had to face that situation. So at that moment, I kept calm because as Mohanji disciple, I kept my calm, and I knew that I would be fine. I knew Father would protect me, and I cannot judge my family, right? Because that was something that I had to face, firstly, whether it was my karma or an experience, or sometimes it can be unconsciousness or unawareness from your family members. So I kept my distance, eventually got out of the situation. I moved on very silently. I managed to, I stay by myself, and I managed to get my strength and find out who I am and why is this affecting me. Is it affecting me because I want their approval? Why is it making me upset? Do I feel that, do I need, even though it is my family, we just spoke about dharma, which can be challenging. So that is a big aspect which Lisa mentioned. A big element in us, in anyone's life, is dharma. So I just walked away from the situation. I gathered myself and got to know myself much better, connected to Father. And eventually, I realized that higher awareness and unconditional love is the only solution. So I also realized that I don't need my family as much as I can love them, because they are good people. People can just be unconscious, whether they're behaving in a violent way, or any sort of low vibrational activity. It's just their unconsciousness and their ignorance.
That's true.
It's
That,
coming from a place they
Agreed.
know not what they do.
Yeah.
How you
They
how
don't know
you
better.
explain? They
yeah,
don't
they don't know better.
They don't
Yeah.
know better. Yeah.
they don't know better, so they're just acting impulsively, and they're under this unconscious drive. And coming from a place of awareness, you can see this in people, and you cannot even judge them. For you,
Yeah.
you have to work on yourself and get
Yeah.
yourself up to a level to be
Yeah.
able to deal with that. And I promise you, it smoothens out, because when you sort of calm down and you sort of settled in yourself, your family members, even if they still do not accept you, I still have my close my parents and close family that doesn't accept me, but I myself, it is a personal journey. I can love them for who they are. I can do my dharma for them, and I can do within my capacity. But I know that this is my individual journey, and I accept myself. And no matter how close those people are to you, no matter how we feel that we need approval or we need some sort of acceptance, that we're not here to prove anything to anyone, no matter how close they are to us. And with this realization, I was fine. I was fine with them having the way they think about me, but I am happy with how I am. I am happy with who I am and what I am and where I am. So that realization just brought some calm and stability, and there's no sort of conflict or resistance. So just have
That's
to
true.
forgive.
Yeah.
We have to forgive and
Most of the time, our mind looks for acceptance from our immediate family members, and that's the biggest challenge.
Yeah. Yeah. I
We
know,
need
really well
that
said.
approval from our immediate family or society. We need that approval.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
waiting for. But actually, we don't need any approval if we know that we are walking path of truth.
Yes.
No. So on this path, it is. I think we have touched upon it. This is a path that we walk alone. Do you think this path is lonely though? Who wants it? Not probably not everybody will answer this question. It's just whoever wants to answer. Samira is just laughing. So who wants to take this answer on? Like, who do you think this path is lonely? I know we have to walk alone, but is it lonely?
With all of you guys together, is it lonely? I enjoy your company.
It is different though for you because you're married. So I don't know, and you have a supportive husband. So I don't know how you would feel. Maybe some of us who are single probably can answer this question. Do you, Samira, Maheshwari, do you find this part to be lonely?
I find it to be extremely entertaining, and it's extremely exciting because on the external world, so people may think that you are alone, or you just meditate the whole day, or you're just mad or something, because you're not like basically there's this love for everybody, and there's this kindness and compassion that Mohanji encourages all of us to be. So we could be passing people by, and just being ourselves, and we may appear to be lonely, or we may appear that maybe certain things don't excite us as much that it excites others, like for example shopping and doing stuff that's crazy, and it's socially accepted that women should love shoes, and they should love shopping, and they should love makeup, and it's fine for other women, but for me, it's not something that I those are not really things that I would really I mean, if I have it, then fine, and I appreciate what I have, but it's not things that I need, and I have to walk this exciting materialistic path. Of course, there are material things that would be really amazing to have, and also we are really grateful that Mohanji doesn't say that you shouldn't enjoy material life or anything. He allows you to just be, and that's just amazing. But on the internal world, it's so exciting because there's not a day that goes by that you don't learn something from yourself. You're basically so busy with settling into yourself or learning about yourself.
Yes.
And it's so exciting, like you wouldn't even know that there's some kind of quality inside you that you need to deal with. Or somebody would tell you, like what the girls were speaking about awareness, and Samira was speaking about acceptance. And we wouldn't really be thinking about these things. But if somebody, attacks you, or you're facing something that you may not like, but he teaches you, to have acceptance, to have awareness of these things. And say something negative or something bad happens, and then we find ourselves like introspecting and thinking, why is this happening, why is that happening, but sort of making things come right on the inside, sort of watching the mind and watching the thought. And for me, that's really exciting. So I would definitely say it's not lonely.
No, that's a great. Anybody else want to answer, perhaps?
I would just like to add that, with the spiritual family and all the devotees connected to Father, you do see some amazing unconditional love. It's a global family. I've never felt so connected to people that I don't know as well in life. I've never felt such close family in my entire life. People who understand you, people who are with you, who really connect with you. It's better than any sort of transactional love.
I agree. And
I
think that because it's based on unconditional love. There is no expectation. There is no expectations from each other. We all are in different countries. Let's just put it like that. Right? We are in different continents. Different continents, right? So, and also I think the lonely factor possibly comes in, possibly in the initial journey when you have just started taking the step, because that's when a lot of friends will leave you. A lot of people are going to leave you because they're not everything that you had with you initially. Like I lost so many friends on this path. I had people that were part of my circle are no longer part of my circle. And that's also part of confusion. I mean, we can actually do an entire episode on confusion. Possibly we can take that entire episode. But there's a lot of confusion, and if you don't have like Samira said, like a global family to hold you, I think that is when it can possibly get lonely. But I think in the end of the day, once you are connected deeper and deeper with Mohanji, or with that one supreme consciousness, you cannot be lonely, because he's always with you. That he's always with you. So I think once you reach that state where you're completely integrated with him, completely merged with him, our goal is to get there, and I think that's when the loneliness would stop, because that is you have that power with you, walking with you all through. So I think we should conclude. We're coming close to the end. So I'll just conclude with this question, because I really like to know what your answers are. Possibly give me either in a word, if you can, or in 2 lines. What does spirituality mean to you? And I want to hear from all of you. What does spirituality mean to you? Just either in 1 word or 2 lines. Who wants to go first?
Okay, just in 2 lines. I've been really blessed to have an experience that, knowing my true self. And I think spirituality to me definitely means being my true authentic self. And in the beginning I mentioned lifetimes, seeing Mohanji, but this is basically what I've been waiting for. And that is, for me, is true spirituality, and not really worrying about what others think of me, because I know that part of me is there. So it's just being my true self authentically.
Thank you, Samira. Nimi?
I would say that the unconditional love that I now express to all. This is something I feel that for me, spirituality is that unconditional love. What I received and also what I'm giving back.
Yeah. Lisa?
Okay, for me, you know all the illusions, but at the same time, you are playing your role so spontaneously, even though you know that everything is in an illusion in certain way, and the silence, you know that for silence, and at the same time you know that you are aware about your life and your activities and everything, so you become the whole universe. So it's really amazing. Thank you.
Pia?
Yes, spirituality for me is feeling happy and content with myself, feeling peaceful from within, and being able to be in the present moment.
Thank you. Maheshwari?
I think being spirituality is being Mohanji.
I was going to say that. I was going to say that.
So, if we just look at Mohanji, he's so, it seems like he's living completely in this world. He's so natural, and so, it's so, everything that he does is so practical. Loving people is natural, being kind, being compassionate, and basically just being Mohanji, following what he teaches, and being comfortable, and exactly what all the other girls have said as well, that unconditional love factor. It's so amazing, and it's so important. And also Pia mentioned about awareness and acceptance, and that as well. It's just and contentment is so important as well. So yeah, for me it's just being Mohanji.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Maheshwari. So for me, yes, definitely. I feel that being spiritual is Mohanji, because Mohanji is when you're sitting with Mohanji, I feel that Puja is sitting with Puja, or Mohanji is sitting with Mohanji. It's just one of the same thing, right? So yeah. So in the end of the day, being spiritual is Mohanji, or being spiritual is Puja. It's just being me. So it's one and the same thing. So with this, I will conclude today's session. We are on time. I want to thank all the viewers that have joined us. Hopefully you got some really amazing valuable insights. I would also encourage everybody to check the official website of Mohanji, www.mohanji.org. Thank you so much. Thank you all the ladies, and we'll connect very, very soon. Jai Mohanji.
Jai Mohanji.
Jai Mohanji.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.